Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 53 of Wise Wednesdays with RK. My name is Ruqayya Khan, and I am super excited today because I have with me Adam El Rafey, who is going to be having a conversation with me on making a difference at any age. And who is this person, and why am I so excited about having him on board? Because he is 10 years old. He is a public speaker. He's an innovator. He's a learning enthusiast. He's a thought leader, passionate about reforming education and helping others follow their curiosities and find their voices at any age. So, Adam is one of the youngest TEDx speakers. He's the youngest innovator at the Knowledge Society Global Virtual Program. I think his list of achievements are taller than him, so I'm just going to bring him on board and let him do the talking. So without further ado, and I can see him doing this in the background. Hey, Adam, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Hello, guys. I'm super excited to be here. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Super. So I actually just cut short with the intro because it's such a tall introduction. Congratulations on all your achievements.
Yeah, thank you.
Super. So Adam,
Yeah.
tell me, when you say making a difference at any age, what does that mean? What does that even mean to you?
Making a difference at any age. Well, to me, what that means to me is, finding your voice, first of all, and second of all, putting that voice to use, right? So that other people can hear you, right? For example, as with my case, I never knew I would like public speaking, so I just said, when presented with a public speaking opportunity, then I said, why not? And I never knew I would like it so much.
Super. I think there's so many things about you and I that are common, as in the TEDx speak. I'm a TEDx speaker too. And when I went on the TEDx stage, I think what makes me different is I started out with the word Alhamdulillah. I don't know very many TEDx speakers who do that. I started out by saying Alhamdulillah because that's how I felt, so full of gratitude for that moment. And even at that time, I wasn't a trained speaker. I wasn't very sure what I was going to say anyway. But the opportunity came and I said, yes, let's do it. So I love what you're saying. And I think we've got a lot of your friends and fans here. We've got... let's just bring everybody's comments on board. And guys, where are you watching from? Let us know. Leave in your name. Say hello to us so that we can acknowledge you for giving us your time and your appreciation. So we've got Johnny who's watching. He says hi. And we've got Gopalan. And we've got Hussein. And Hussein looking great and inspiring as always. That's me saying hello to everybody. Randall is watching as well. And, oh, wow, my friend Vidya. And Randall says, love it. Find your voice and put it to use. That is so powerful, Adam. So powerful. And we've got Ruba from Saudi watching us as well. Hello, everybody, once again. And brilliant. So we've got lots and lots of inspiration. And look who's here as well. Soha. Awesome. All right. You've got quite a fan following, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Adam. So you said find your voice and put it to use. What does putting your voice to use mean to you?
Putting my voice to use means speaking up, right? So say you want to make a change. Well, you would never receive if you never ask, right? So you gotta always, try to make that change, using you and your voice, right? So that is personally what it means to me.
And when we're talking, you're on this mission to reform education. You want things to kind of change. So what's the importance of education in your perspective?
Education is really important. And the reason why is that education is not the definition of school. The definition of education is not the definition of school, right? Education is learning, right? So it could be anything, quantum computing, solar system, literally anything, even stuff that's out of this world, you know?
Right.
And so, yeah, so education is just being a lifelong learner, whether you're a kid or an adult. You just gotta have that burning fire inside of you, just wanting to learn more, sort of. That is truly learning and curiosity.
Super. And when you say learning and curiosity, so when did you or the family realize that, okay, there's more to Adam than what meets the eye? Tell us a little about how you got to know that there's more that you want to do with the learning that you're getting.
Because, well, since I did my first ever TEDx talk, that really a lot of people saw that and reached out to me. And at that point, I think I was just like, whoa, I did this, and now I'm getting so many more opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So that's the point when I realized, this is what I need to follow, right?
And
And
how
I
did
as well, so yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. How did TEDx happen? Just tell me about that. I'm sure that's a fascinating story.
How did TEDx happen? All right. Well, TEDx, actually, ever since I started doing secondary, I got invited to join a TED club with secondary students, and I was super excited about that because I was just like, why not, right? So turns out the top of the TED club would, get to do a TEDx talk. So I was part of the top of the TED club, so I moved on to doing a TEDx talk, and that's really how it happened. I still love it.
I know you are fabulous. So, were you nervous?
Was I nervous? Yes. And to all those people that think like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous, what should I do? Nerves are perfectly fine. It's normal. Any public speaker has got nerves at some point, or maybe at even every point or milestone, right? So nerves are just completely normal. So you just try to control them and then just focus on being happy and having fun, right? That's the secret.
That's the secret, and I love that secret. So you've done a TEDx talk and you're on these amazing other platforms and Olympiad winner and all of that. So many feathers to your cap. So how do you celebrate yourself?
How do I celebrate myself? Well, my parents have really raised me to be proud of myself, no matter what, and just not, rely on what others think of me. So we don't really celebrate. We just say good job and are proud of each other and supportive, right? And I think that's still really great because knowing that people have your back and are really supportive of you and are as enabling as my parents and family are, that's just a really nice feeling.
So what I'm hearing is that every day is a celebration because each day that you do something or otherwise, it's just like acknowledging that you did a good job is a celebration in itself, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Super.
So just be proud of yourself all the time.
I like that. I could have done with some of this learning had I known better when I was your age. And it's so beautiful. I love the way you think. Adam, okay, so you're on this journey of your own. Tell us a little bit of the new projects that you are working on at the moment.
Well, the project that I'm working on at the moment is actually it's my focus for BCIs at TES, right? The Knowledge Society. And a bit of elaboration on what the Knowledge Society is, for those of you who are not aware of it, It's basically the Olympics for education, and you can learn so many more things that you wouldn't learn in your typical classroom. For example, blockchain, you know, so it would be blockchain, it would also be AI, autonomous vehicles, BCIs, and just all this awesome stuff that really just gets me like, whoa, this is super cool, you know?
Awesome. So, blockchain, did you say VCIs? No, BCIs.
BCI. Yeah, and that's my focus, brain-computer interfaces.
Yes, tell us about that, because I think that was the first all-nighter that you did.
Yep. Pretty right. For a kid that stays up until maybe around 8:30 at night, sleeping past 12 was an experience.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember. So
Yeah.
I usually host this show at 9 p.m. But I realized, yes, 8:30 is your bedtime, so let's just have this at a more suitable time. And I'm so happy. So many of everybody has joined us today. So thank you everyone for joining us. If you have any questions for Adam, please shoot them. Please ask us. And if you're new to the platform, do subscribe and encourage the host with a subscription for the channel, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, I think I just wanted to add a bit more on the BCI's part, just to explain what our solution really was. So,
Yes, please.
our solution was brain-computer beats. And what brain-computer beats was a app for ADHD students in the classroom, right? So everyone would wear sort of a BCI headband, okay, just around your forehead. And yeah, so and after that, it would be transmitted, their focus would be transmitted to the teacher's device via measuring beta waves, right? And those are the waves associated with focus. And if the focus drops, then the teacher can initiate binaural beats. And what binaural beats are is that there are two different frequencies of music played in two different ears. Then what happens with that is that your brain falls into synchrony with the difference of the two beat frequencies. And if you manage to get it in the beta wave range, which is the wave that helps you with your focus, then your brain stimulates those waves and helps you focus.
And it's interesting how I had to focus as you explained all of this to me. So I've known about how meditation brings your brain to a different level of thinking. Brain waves and frequencies are different when you're meditating. So to my lame mind, I'm just thinking, to my layman mind, not lame, layman mindset, I'm just thinking, is that somehow correlated in terms of frequencies? And
actually, I haven't really looked into that. I will get back to you because that's a super interesting question.
Thank you. So we've got Randall who says, keep wonderful conversation. Keep going, Adam. You're well on your way to having a powerful influence for the good in the world. Oh, yes, he is.
Wow, thank you.
And one more for you, Adam. I love his enthusiasm and positive energy. Awesome.
Thanks, guys, for the support.
Awesome, isn't it? All right. So you're working on this project, and you've devised technology to help children with ADHD. Tell me a little bit about setting goals. What are your thoughts on setting goals? How important are they, or is it even important at all?
Anything to do with managing your time is excellent, right? It helps you be a lot more productive knowing that there is, in fact, a time constraint and that you've got to get things done. So, setting a goal, that really, first of all, helps you feel a sense of achievement, that you've really done something and it really actually, it's effective, unlike some other methods, right? And second, it's the ultimate productivity tip. Like time boxing, time boxing is a really good way because that's also a form of setting goals, right? And yeah, so I think it's really crucial.
Okay. We have a very interesting question from Sami. He asks, do you think virtual reality will be used as a new education tool soon?
I definitely hope so, right? Virtual reality is possibly the best way of learning. The reason why is that, what do you call? The reason why is because it's a lot more immersive and interactive, you know? So it will really get like students, say if you're learning the periodic table, you could possibly see all the elements in front of you in a digital lab, and you can mix the two, right? Except without blowing up the entire school.
Yes.
That would not be ideal.
I remember you spoke about how you'd love it if your teacher turned into Einstein. That would be a lesson you'd remember forever. Imagine if that happened.
Imagine that.
Yes. Okay, we've got one more amazing question. He said, from Alex, who says, if you were to open your own school, what would be your first priority in changing the current systems?
My first priority would be, well, changing really the stuff that we're learning. That would definitely be my first priority, because sure, you need a base level of all the skills that are currently being taught in school, such as like, you know, maths, English, vocabulary, stuff like that, like, you know, Arabic or any different language, right? But the main thing that will really help you succeed in the future are 21st century skills, especially adaptability 20. I was about to say 21st century skills again. Adaptability, creativity, you know, communication, resourcefulness, time management, all that kind of stuff really helps within the real world. And like, you know, getting hired and getting a future job, right?
Yep. And when we speak of communication, Adam, what are your thoughts on communication?
It's really important, whether it be like, it can be implemented everywhere. Like, for example, in the education system, you need help. Boom, communication comes in handy. You can ask for help, right? In the workforce, something's not going as planned. Communication, you can tell them that and present some data on why, right?
Yep.
Even in video games. Oh, an enemy's here. Communication. Tell your squad that there's an enemy here, right?
Yep. So awesome. All right, we have this another question for you. So Johnny asks, what is it that you want to be known as by the world?
Known as? Well, that's a really good question, actually. I've not really thought about before, but that, you know, what is it that I wanted to be known as by the world is the 10-year-old public speaker. Just something simple. I don't want to be like super show off, like, oh, I did this, the person who did this, like, you know, stuff like that. I just want to be more, you know, on the humble side, because that's who I am.
I love that. I think you've nailed it. Humility and being grounded. Adam, that is your superpower. I mean, all that you've done, yes, is amazing, but to still stay grounded and be humble, that's it. That's your win. Beautiful. I love that. All right. Here's one more. Which do you think will be more integrated with education, AR or VR?
Both, actually. Have you ever heard of mixed reality? Mixed
Tell me
reality
about this.
is a combination of augmented reality and virtual reality, right?
Okay.
So you can do things in the virtual world whilst seeing things in the real world, right? You know, so mixed reality is probably better than virtual reality and better than augmented reality because it combines the best of the two, right?
Tell me about augmented reality. And honestly, I don't know about this. So tell me, for someone new who's watching and doesn't know anything about augmented reality, what is that?
Augmented reality is adding things from the virtual world. Like, say you have an empty house right now and you're planning to see what furniture that you need. What you can do, you can use an augmented reality app on your phone even, and you can just drag a furniture into your augmented reality room and see how it looks, right? So it'll help you make a decision on that. And it can also help in terms of education, which I'm most excited for, So in education terms, what would happen is you could actually, so say if it's in maths, right? Instead of just writing some stuff down on a textbook visualization, you could have actual visualization, meaning you could literally put your calculation in front of you, like in the air, floating, right? And you could just add some sort of visuals that would help you calculate the right answer so that it would be easier, right?
Beautiful. Yeah. So it's like actually seeing it there right in front of you. All right, Adam, I really have to read out these comments and share them with you. So Johnny, who asked you that question, says, awesome, humility and grounded, Adam. And Shola's watching. She says, what maturity for a 10-year-old. And Vidya says, humility and humbleness. I'm totally blown by dear Adam. You are amazing indeed. So much to learn from you. I will quickly dart through the comments and then ask you the upcoming questions. So, sorry. Okay, we have Cindy watching us, and she says, I don't believe I've come across a student like this in 33 years of teaching.
Wow.
Love it. And we've got Prasad, who says, maturity and knowledge beyond his age, a true genius and well-grounded one. See, that's the whole beauty of you. You're so grounded. I love that. Awesome. Yes. So we have a question here from Abdurrahim. He says, who inspired you to become a public speaker at this early age?
Well, I definitely do have some people that I look up to, such as Elon Musk and, the founder of TKS, Nadeem Nathoo. But the way that I got into public speaking was motivated by my curiosity, right? As I mentioned earlier with the TEDx story, that was my mindset, actually. I had a growth mindset, believing that I could do something, and I had a why not mindset, right? And those combined make a great mindset that takes the best of the two again and puts them into one.
I do agree. And I think the more you speak of your journey, the more you share what you've been through and how you've kind of walked through where you are right now, the more you inspire others. And the fact that you are not, on a high horse or not being this person, out of reach person, it just makes people feel so connected to you, and they feel like, yes, I can do it too. So there's this connectability that you're resonating. I love that. Okay, we have another question here. I'm just going to pull out the questions now. So what challenges, and again, along the same lines, NASA asks, what is a challenge you faced during your journey so far, and how did you overcome it?
So I will take this opportunity to address a big misconception around me. And that misconception is that people think that I'm born smart, which it's very wrong. But this is true. Some people do think that. So it's really wrong. I've actually worked really hard to be where I am today, right? So I've had to put in the effort. I've had to work hard. I've had to be resilient, right? And it just doesn't all come easy to me. The process is a lot of hard work. Even though it is fun, it definitely is hard work.
Mm-hmm. Resilience. That happens to be one of my top favorite words, resilience. What does it mean to you when someone has to be resilient?
When someone has to be resilient,
Mm-hmm.
not giving up and keeping on following the same path unless it presents a danger, right?
Hmm.
Just say if you want to get to a certain goal, well, you can keep on getting there, right? And if you fall down and accidentally trip on the path, right? Just get back up, dust yourself off, and just keep on going. And if there's an error with that path, make a different one, right? A straight line is not always the fastest option.
True.
So,
True.
yeah, you could just not be afraid to carve your own unconventional path, right? So, yeah.
Love it. Thank you. All right, moving forward, we have a question. All right, I think this one's going to be a powerful one too. It says, what are your thoughts about phone addiction in children and young adults, actually in everyone, it's not just about young adults, and how they often distract them from deep thinking? You are my guru. All right, then.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
phone addiction, well, screen time in general is, well, especially for me, it's not the greatest for my eyes, but like, it's still not great. But if I wasn't on screens, I wouldn't have found out about the Fibonacci sequence or some of the digits of pi, which go a bit like, 3.141592653589793. That's all I remember. I used to know actually about 30 of them in my TEDx talk. So,
Yes, I heard.
but yeah, if it's just watching some things that won't really help you learn anything, then it's not the greatest, because you could be doing something else with your life.
Yeah, you could be doing something else with your life, and that's so important. I think again it goes back to utilizing time and what you were talking about, the importance of time management and knowing what you're doing with the time you have. That's so important.
Yeah, actually, just touching back up on that phone topic. Well, actually, you could get something out of that. Times are changing. Dan TDM in 2018 made around $18.5 million off of YouTube. So that's definitely an option. So if you like screen time and devices and like playing games and stuff, just record some short videos or whatever it takes to, just start a YouTube channel, right? That's also successful. You can get lots of success out of that, and it's what you enjoy, right? So just do what you enjoy.
I guess it's about understanding what is giving you what kind of value and then following through accordingly.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Gopalan who says, hi, Adam, you're an amazing person. How would you sustain this level of curiosity into the future?
Well, okay, so curiosity now. So curiosity comes naturally, right? Well, it's not really naturally, but what you can do is you can practice curiosity, and it's really simple to do that, actually. All you gotta do, ask a question when you don't know something, right? When something piques your interest, just find out about it. It's that simple. That's the easiest way to sustain your curiosity. Just ask questions. Be an endless learner, right?
And you know what? I think that sometimes people get stuck because they're constantly asking the wrong questions. And because they're asking the wrong questions, they're receiving answers to those wrong questions. So yeah, ask. And there's no such thing as a silly question. So yes, let's acknowledge that. Thank you. All right. Randall says, love that. Curiosity driving action. Believe that he could make a difference. Great mindset. Wow. Curiosity, growth mindset. Wish all children in the world get to experience this. Well, it's simple. Just share the video. Make it go further and beyond just this group that is watching. So we have Hussein who says, how should a person sustain their self-motivation, curiosity, and self-belief as they grow older? So it's very similar to what Gopalan asked us. And the floor is all yours.
Yeah, so sustaining self-motivation, right? So self-motivation, it's honestly, losing it is not good, right? So you want to try to keep it alive for as long as possible. And the way to sustain your self-motivation is by setting goals, believe it or not, right? It's again that sense of achievement that really drives you forward, and you want more, right? It's a really good feeling, so I understand that. So basically, self-motivation is when you just say you have like a goal, right? And you really want to achieve that goal because it's your passion. Again, it has to be something that you enjoy for you to really have that burning fire lit inside of you, just to say like, I love doing this, let's go, right? And so self-motivation, you literally just set goals, and then eventually you'll start to motivate yourself to start working on those goals if it's what you like.
I like that. That's so important to follow through with what you like, right? Okay. And what about self-belief?
Self-belief, right? Believing in yourself is, well, again, it's really important. Losing it is not great. Believing in yourself, if you're struggling with that, acknowledge it, sit down, and think of 10 good things about yourself a day, right? Like, what are your amazing qualities that people love about you, right? So just sit down, think about that, right? Think about that, and eventually it'll bring your self-belief up, because you know that, wow, I'm actually doing good things, and like you'll end up believing in yourself and continue with self-motivation.
Wow. Wow. I love this. All right. Here's another one. So many students have the opinion that exams are too stressful and it's unnecessary. What's your take on this?
What's my take on this? Well, exams are a bit stressful, and the reason why is because they rely mainly on memorization, which is the wrong thing, right? Rather than learning how to memorize, you have to learn how to learn, right? Because all the information's out there. Because like we already have Google, Siri, Alexa, so many of these devices that provide so much information, right? So schools should be teaching us how to learn and making it project based so they can really assess our 21st century skills that are needed for the future.
Okay, here's an interesting question. It talks about the future of humanity. Ooh.
How do I see the future of humanity? Hopeful, full of possibilities, or doomed with the challenges of today? Well, first off, not the last one. I am a super optimistic person in general. The future of humanity is looking bright as always. Everything's looking bright. Even when the moon's out, the sky's dark, there's light, right? There's still light coming from the moon, right? So when something is dark and humanity is faced with that challenge, just think of that analogy. The sky is dark, the lights are out, the moon reflects light, right? So just look at that. There's always a bright side to everything.
Yes, there always is a bright side to everything, Adam. And we have Cindy who says, I commend you for your stick-to-itness. Love it. All right. Okay, Vidya is very curious. She wants to know, how different is the true 10-year-old Adam otherwise? So are there two Adams? Or is this the... Oh, there are. There is.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Tell us.
So, actually, before I joined, right, I was preparing, but well, yeah, I was preparing, I was taking notes and reminding myself of my talking points, but otherwise I was, well, one, playing, two, jumping on the sofa that I have behind me because it's super bouncy and I love it.
And
So
I
yeah,
love
there's
it.
definitely another side to me.
And there should be, isn't it? I
Exactly.
think there should be. And there's another side to me as well. And my friends know that. I won't go into those details. Not on my show, I won't. All right. So, how do you feel about gamification in learning and formal education? And to add to that, I think gamification is also getting into boardrooms. What are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, amazing. Really? Gamification, key. Again, VR, AR, XR, mixed reality, by the way. And so, gamification, if you create an education game for students in the classroom, it will skyrocket.
True.
I think it's amazing that if you imagine to create a game that is fun, interesting, and educational, you've got the perfect product. That would be really useful, and I definitely think it could be implemented into the classroom.
Absolutely. And I think that's also one of the reasons why it's getting into the boardrooms, because, when you are looking at boring board meetings, like board meetings, if you have gamification there, it's everyone's definitely going to pay attention and work is definitely going to get done. So I love that. And on a side note, I just have to mention this. My son was in grade 7 when I asked him that oh so powerful question: what would you like to be when you grow up? And he said he looked up from his from the controllers. Obviously he was playing a game. He looked up and he said, I want to learn gaming. I want to learn games development. And I said, if you're going to learn it, it means you're going to be developing the game. You won't be playing all the time. And he said, yeah, Ma, I know that. So once I had that kind of reassurance, I said, okay, great, go for it. So right now he is studying games development with business management, and he's super happy about that. So yes, awesome. Okay, we have got Abdurrahim who says, you're really a role model for all those lazy people living on this earth. Kudos to you.
I love that comment so much.
Okay, and Randall says, this young man could be the CEO of a company. He understands as much or more than that many of us who have the title today, but don't understand what leadership really means. I love this. Yes.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of businesses, I love economics. I love the science of investing. All those business related things are super right down my alley, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I had a road, if I had a street, bam, business, probably the third or second one. It's really interesting.
I'm sure it is, and I think to run a business, a person should definitely know how to be a good leader. They should have a sense of leadership, how to lead their company, their business. What are your thoughts on leadership?
Leadership.
Yes.
Leadership is, well, I have experience with leadership actually, as being a project manager with multiple teams in TKS. So yeah, leadership is really important. There definitely should be, just there should be a leader to red flag, right? Hey, is everything okay? Do you guys need help? Right? That sort of thing. And so, yeah, they definitely think leadership in anywhere is really important. Even in the classroom, you gotta regulate the work, make sure anyone's not doing any particularly silly things. Even though you should be individual and not conformist. But yeah.
Awesome. So we have got just a few more minutes left. We are closing in another 5 minutes or so. Lots of love coming for you. Amazing. Adam Major Niti says, hey Rukaya, thank you so much introducing Wise Young Man. Just loving the conversation, Niti. And we have a question. Do you think children should practice mindfulness in the classroom along with other subjects?
Yes, I really do. Now, mindfulness, it's relaxing. Actually, it clears the mind. It's super useful for productivity. It's just good. I don't know what more to say about it. It's just really good.
Yes, it definitely is good. And another one for you, do you make time for play and hobby? What are they? What do you enjoy playing? What are your hobbies?
I definitely make time for my friends, socializing, video games, tennis. Even tennis is really cool. I like golf as well. I also play the piano. I have one right next to me as we speak, actually.
Lovely.
And the camera actually cut out because, well, this room is also like sort of a music room where I am, but it's also where I do my meetings. I have the piano here, a violin here, and a drum set.
Wow.
So I'm very musical, right? Even though I don't play some of the things anymore, but the family plays it. We're a musical family. We're really creative, and I definitely make time for playing in hobbies.
Love it. Okay. Hussein says, you made me feel alive again. Thanks, Adam and RK, for this inspirational conversation. Thank you. Okay, Asra, my friend from school, says, wow, Adam is really amazing with a beautiful mind, huge confidence, great speaker, and above all, very humble. That is so, so important to be humble. And Vidya says, this has been the most wonderful and cutest session thus far. Lots of love and hugs to you, dear. Awesome, Adam. And I believe this will be the last question for the evening. What are your thoughts on skill-focused, experiential learning vis-a-vis traditional learning system? What are the ways we can bring focus on these? Question from Niti.
Yes. Just yes. Everything in that question is just yes, I guess. So skill-focused, yes, 21st century skills required for the future. It's really crucial to being successful, right? Vis-a-vis traditional education system, well, there are some tweaks that we could do to the traditional education system, and being actually a part of it, I definitely know the best, probably, right?
Right.
I'm going to say definitely. There probably are some people that know it more than I do, such as the headmasters of schools, but there definitely are definitely some things that we could tweak, such as the things that we're learning, the way that we're learning, and we could literally say we're learning about the Amazon rainforest. If cars could literally just change their body color in the click of a button, let's just transform the classroom, right? Projectors thing.
Absolutely. So more love, more appreciation, great learning from you, Adam and Rukaya. Thanks, Rooks, once again, but this time for the cutest session. Super, thank you. Okay, I know I said that would be the last question, but I have to ask a question of my own.
Okay.
And, I'm a writer. I started out as a writer 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. And when I approach my editors, I tell them, if people came with taglines, mine would be work is always welcome. Okay. So I'm always open for work. Anybody gives me any writing to do, I just love it. I go for it. Any opportunity, actually, I say yes to. I'm okay, I disappeared.
Yeah.
All right. I know, disappearing act. So if there was a tagline to Adam, what would that be?
All right. My tagline is always stay curious, have a growth mindset, be resilient, and have fun.
I like that. So always be curious, have a growth mindset, stay curious, and have fun. You kind of brought all of it together, all that we've been talking about since the last 45 minutes. You brought it all together in a tagline, and how amazing is that? So God bless you. Thank you for for being you and stay as brilliant as you are and grounded. I love this. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Absolutely inspirational. That was the promise and definitely delivered. Do share this conversation with friends, tag friends who need to receive this inspiration today. Once again, Adam, thank you for being my guest today on this very special episode. And thank you for making a difference at any age.
Thank you for inviting me here. I loved it.
I loved it too. Thanks. All right, then. Bye, everybody, and thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.